Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. DOA machine. I'm Dave, WW7ATS. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. It's a crossband repeater. We transmit on 70 centimeters. And then the output is on 1.2 gigahertz. Also, we use SeaTac Repeaters Association's WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a specific tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions during our nets. So with that, I'll pause just in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before the net gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM.
N7KC.
And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Google WW7ATS, WW7ATS. That'll take you to our homepage. There you'll find the exact frequencies we transmit on, the background on the club, and also a link to YouTube where we stream our nets. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Hearing none at this point, checked in by video link so far is KD7QKU Ron, N7KC Lee, Richard K7ITX, Jim N7QO, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else who would like to check into the net? None. We'll get the net underway. Let's start off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
KD7QKU here. Well, the Rangers just won the World Series. They won 4 games to 1 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that was good. Well, let's see. I missed last Saturday, I guess. We went over to Doug and Phyllis's, had dinner, and watched the ball game, I think. Not too much going on here. My ulcers have still been giving me fits. I went to the doctor again today. She's sending me to a gastroenterologist, I guess, whatever you call them. And they're going to do a, what's it called? Otoscopy, or whatever it is, where they go down your throat and look in your stomach. So, see what's going on down there. So anyway, it didn't rain here all day. It's raining lightly now. It didn't start till about dinner time. I thought we were going to have lots of rain, but it didn't show up. So I don't know. Let's see what else is going on. Not too much. We went over to a friend's house yesterday. Had lunch. She gave us pea soup. It was really good. Had a nice visit. That's about it, I guess, for now. Turn it back to net and see. Always nice to see you guys and find out what you're doing. So KD7QKU.
QKU. Let's go on to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, there we go. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Hope I'm getting in okay. The echoing sounds pretty good tonight here. Okay, Ron says okay. Well, good to see you all. Can't see Jim, but I guess he's out there someplace. It's raining in Port Angeles at the moment, but like Ron, it didn't really start until after dinner. You know, the river's below 400 cubic feet per second, down around 380. So we're technically still in water conservation area. Earlier today, given that Halloween is over and all that, I took the big pumpkin down that was hanging up there, the 5-footer, and carefully put that all away till next year, and so forth. And I don't know. Otherwise, it was just ho-hum stuff today. We never had any sun. Sun didn't come out. It was overcast all day, no sunshine. It wasn't dark or anything like that, but there wasn't any shadows being cast. Pretty good overcast, I think. Gosh, I'm only halfway through my time, and I don't have anything else to say. So back to you it comes, Dave. This is N7KC Lee in Port Angeles. Go ahead.
KC, let's go to Richard, K7ITX in Kent.
All right, yeah, great to see you guys. Yeah, Halloween is come and gone. We didn't get any trick-or-treaters. I bet Ron did, though, where he lives. 4, okay. And I don't know if Dave has any, or Lee. I'd kind of like to hear about that. And Ron, I thought you did a lot better than I've ever done. Gastroenterologist. I don't know. I've never been able to say it. Now, I don't know if you... Now, I like the way you said it. I don't know if it was right, but that sounded easy enough. I mean, I'm going to start using that, whether it's right or wrong, just because it sounds kind of easy to remember to say. So, let's see. I got flu shot tomorrow and COVID-19 shot, the latest and greatest. And then a couple hours after that, the eye doctor puts that hole in my iris for a narrow angle. I hope she knows what she's doing. That's all I can say. Ron, you had that done, didn't you? Okay. And you lived through it. You can see. And okay, all right. Yeah, because she didn't say I had to have a ride to go home or anything. And yeah, okay. Well, good. It's nice to hear. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Just made a trip to the lawyer's office for my mom's estate today. And then, let's see, I don't know, Monday seemed like I do housework when, because Debbie's holding down the fort now with his bookkeeping job. So someone's got to, vacuum the house and that sort of thing. So, but, so I vacuumed the house on Monday and I mowed the front yard yesterday. Like me, that's really good exercise. Believe it or not, it always blows my mind. Cutting the front yard, I've got the iPhone comes with a pedometer built into it. It just amazes me that I walk a mile cutting the front grass. It's just unbelievable. So, I don't know. But I need it. Vacuuming the living room, that's half a mile anyway. So there you go. So I'm getting some, but I need to get, out to the treadmill and really, buckle down. So I've been kind of lazy lately. So anyway. All right, so that's what I know right now. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's see if Jim's with us. N7QO.
N7QO.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, let's see. Rangers won. Thank you for mentioning that, Ron. I got distracted today. Didn't even have a chance to look at that. Yeah, I kind of suspected they were going to. I'm not sure anyone expected them to, but after a while there, it became kind of obvious, I think. Let's see. I missed last Saturday's net as well. I was, what was I doing Saturday? I don't know. I'm sure my wife found something that I needed to do. But anyway, so I missed that. And ulcer, yeah, gastroenterologist, and that would be an endoscopy that you need. My wife has to go through that. Does she do it once a year? Maybe it's every other year. I can't remember for sure. I know it's not every 6 months. It's either annually or every other year. She has a condition where they need to go down her throat and take a peek around there. So the last one she did in particular seemed to be rather smooth. They didn't even really lay her down. She was kind of sitting in a sort of easy chair, and they snaked this thing down her throat. And she said it was not a bad experience at all. Let's see, precipitation here. It rained pretty good during the night last night, and when I woke up it was drizzling. We had intermittent drizzle through much of the day, and then I would say it turned to maybe moderate rain sometime just before the afternoon, before dinner time, and maybe a couple of hours before dark. And then right now it's just light rain coming down out there now. Let's see. And I've got 48 degrees at the house here just south of Covington. Lee, you sound good here. I can't see any pictures of anyone. I do see a picture on the 1.2 gigahertz downlink. My picture is intermittent. All I see is the interior of the repeater shack, but that's something anyway. And there's some kind of white object from the very bottom of my screen. It's protruding upward toward the center, but it doesn't quite reach the center. I'm guessing that maybe some spider built a web not too far away from the camera lens. So that's what I'm seeing here anyway. Let's see. Dick, yeah, I had no trick-or-treaters here at all last night either. There was one car that drove around our cul-de-sac, and my guess is he was probably looking to see if there were any other trick-or-treaters here or any houses that look like they might be giving away something good. And I think he probably relayed to the kids to bypass our street. That's my guess. I know a couple of the neighbors had their lights off. Maybe they weren't even home. I don't know for sure. But nope, no one showed up begging for candy here. So I guess that's more for me. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine, 147.08 this evening. Well, here in Lake City, I've got 48 degrees, overcast with a slight drizzle going on right now. Today, domestic chores were in order around here, and then I went to Costco. And then when I was at Costco, I noticed they had a reduction in price of $50 on an iPad I purchased a few weeks back. And so I rushed home after getting my purchase and found the receipt and brought it back to Costco to see if I could get an adjustment on the purchase. It was kind of interesting. When I went to the check-in desk at Costco, well, they said I'd have to buy yet a second unit, then I could return the one that I had, because after 90 days, they warranty it unconditionally to take it back at the price you purchased it at. So then I went to the electronics manager in Costco and I said, well, this is kind of ridiculous. Then you'd have a used iPad that you can't dispose of at retail price, and then they wanted me to buy a new one. And so that manager said, this is ridiculous, and marched up to the counter and said, make this adjustment now. And they did. They give me the $50 back. I didn't have to buy a second unit to play switcheroo. So it was kind of funny figuring out how the tactics of that all worked. But in the long run, I got the refund, so that was good. And that's about what I did today. So that was about it. So I'll send it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Dave, KD7QKU. Well, let's see. I think I just looked. I think I have 42 degrees here, but I'm not sure now. So, Richard, if I remember right, my ophthalmologist put like a contact lens in my eye, only it wasn't a lens you could see through. If I remember correctly, it was dark or opaque or something, and it had a little hole in it, and that's where she shot the laser. And it just taken a second, and it didn't hurt or didn't feel it. They numb your eye maybe a little bit to put the contact lens in. And then, when she's done, I went home, didn't know what happened. So it shouldn't be a big deal. Let's see. At least getting some rain. They need the rain up there badly. I don't necessarily need too much rain, but I guess it's okay. Let's see. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it is. My memory, I think, is getting shorter and shorter. Let's see. Well, I don't know what it was. I guess it wasn't important. I know what it was. So I'd ordered one of those battery chargers. I'd ordered it back in July, early part of July. And I ordered it on eBay, and I never got it. So I tried to check it out, and it was, FedEx, I guess, was supposed to have brought it and delivered it to me, and I never found it. And so I tried to get a hold of FedEx, and I couldn't get a hold of them, so I called my credit card. I have a MasterCard, and I called them and told them I'd like to stop payment on it. And they said, okay, no problem. They said the seller had already got the money, but they said, and I said, well, I never got the product. So they said, no problem, we'll refund your money, and we'll go after the seller and get our money back or something. So I never thought any more about it. Well, lo and behold, the other day, I opened the front door, and there's a box. And of course, I'd already bought another charger, little, maintainer. And it had a handwritten note on it. It said this was delivered to the wrong house. So I have no idea where it was delivered. But supposedly it was delivered back like in the, 15th or 16th of July. So if it was delivered to that people in July, they kept it all that time before they brought it to me. So now I guess I have two of them. I don't even know where I bought it now. So I guess I just keep it. But that was strange. Like 3 months later, they brought it over and put it on my doorstep. So, and it was, I tried to get a hold of FedEx. It was impossible to get a hold of FedEx. I sent them emails and texts, and there was nothing you could call. And you know, they said they would get back to you on an email in 48 hours or something. So anyway, they never got back to me as far as I know. But my credit card credited my account for it. So anyway, I have an extra brand new battery maintainer if somebody needs one. All right, back to that KD7QK.
QKU, I guess we could just say charge on. You're doing great. Let's see if we can pick up Lee N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, here we go. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Well, very good. Dave, you mentioned hunting for that receipt. I had occasion to take something back to Costco not that long ago, and I was up at the counter, and I did have the receipt with me. And I said to the gal, do I really need a receipt? She says, no. She says, we have a full record of what you bought. Yeah, so I don't know. At least that's what they told me. Battery tenders, I use the green ones called, strangely, battery tenders. And the reason I do that is because they don't make any radio noise. I've had a couple that were not the green ones that after I had them in service, it took me a while to figure out where the noise was coming from and before I could get them out. So I always buy the green ones, and they've been unconditionally quiet. They're not horribly expensive, and they do a really nice job. And I'm getting close to implementing them here. I have, for the summertime, for the truck and the VW, I've got solar panels, small solar panels. They're about, 8 inches by 4, something like that, on a little stand. They work really well, but in the wintertime, we just don't get the sun here to keep the batteries up. So I do put trickle chargers, those green things, on those batteries in the winter. And so I move everything around so that they're close together. Now I only have to run one extension cord to service 2 vehicles. So I'm probably going to end up doing that before too long. We had just a minor freeze last week. Water in a bird bath froze a little bit, and so forth. You know what? I forgot to start my timer, I think. I don't have anything else to say anyway. Back to you, Dave. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles.
KC, thanks for that. Well, let's pick up Richard in Kent, K7ITX.
Okay, well, I took a couple notes. Yeah, that's pretty good, Dave. Getting that $50 discount. Seems like usually when I look at the electronics that I buy there, when I come back, the prices have gone up. So never had an occasion to even think about doing what you did, but that's pretty cool. And let's see, what else did I put on here? I guess I need my glasses. Geez, you know, my glasses didn't even help because I can't even read my own writing. Huh? What the heck was that all about? Well, anyway, I was going to mention, you know, we talked about that RSV shot, and you know, I got mine a week ago Thursday, and I swear to God, I felt like I had the flu for 2.5 days. I don't know. Debbie had no reaction to it, and it didn't sound like Dave did. So, I mean, literally every joint in my body ached. I felt like I was almost crippled every time I tried to get up for 2.5 days. It was just really bizarre. So I got my fingers crossed that flu shot or COVID-19, I won't go through that again. But yeah, what the heck? I think it's better than getting the real deal, that's for sure. But it sure bugs me when you can't read your own writing. That's crazy. I'm sure I was wanted to react to something someone said. This is weird. Unbelievable. I don't know. So yeah, I'm kind of lost for words right now. I'll reread, try to decipher what I wrote, and I'm sure I'll have a report next time around. K7ITX, back to net control.
N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Yeah, I need a secretary as well, Dick. Don't feel bad. And sometimes I can't read my own writing either. I'm kind of surprised I still remember how to write personally. But, I don't know. I was hoping after retirement here maybe I can write a book or two, and I don't know. Nothing's working out like I had planned or expected or wanted. What can I say? Oh well. I'm glad that most all of you have had some success with your vision problems. I have yet to go through that experience myself. I've been told that I have some cataracts which are just developing, and so I need to wait a few years before I do anything. But I remember, Lee, you mentioned they decided that somehow they waited too long to do yours, so I'll have to keep an eye on them. Let's see. I've had packages delivered to wrong houses before as well. I don't think I've had anyone wait that long, but I have had someone wait like, I think it was about 8 months or so. It was absolutely nothing worth anything. It was, honestly, it was junk mail, but they sent some letter saying, hey, we sent you this on this date, could you please acknowledge receipt of it? And it's like, no, I didn't get that. But it was just some trinkets anyway. It was someplace soliciting for contributions, and I was not going to make a contribution to them anyway. But I'm surprised at how often something shows up at the wrong house around here. So, wow, at least you got your stuff, Ron. That's good. Let's see. I did not get the RSV vaccination. I have some medical conditions. I was told there are two medical conditions where they recommended that someone get it, and also a third condition, which is if you're in a sort of communal living affair, like an assisted living facility or something like that, where you're among a bunch of other people. So I did not do the RSV because of potential side effects. And the COVID vaccination, I can't do that. I have to wait until they come up with a non-mRNA vaccine due to a problem I had with that. So, yeah, it's getting to be about that time of year. It's been cold this week, We definitely put a warmer blanket on the bed this past week, and ironically, the warm, the overnight low temperatures are warmer than they have been for the previous couple of days, so it's been a little more pleasant anyway. I do think we have a little more rain coming over the next few days, so that will help things feel a little bit more chilly. But anyway, back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7KC.
N7QO, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Tonight on the way home from Costco, I stopped by and got some teriyaki. Oh my gosh, the portions were fantastic. Actually, 2 people could have eaten what they put on the plates. I was surprised. It must have been a half a chicken and then enough rice to feed an army. So I did my thing and I ate it all. So anyway, and it was spicy on top of that. It was pretty good. I liked that. I hadn't been to this one particular shop in about a year, and I remembered it was very good. As I was nearing it, I said, I am hungry. I think I'll stop and try it again, and it was just as good. And oh my gosh, they had all kinds of people waiting for orders. They have a great business at this particular place I went to, and I was very glad that happened anyway. Well, all my shots are up to date. I did get a COVID booster in the last couple of weeks of June. In the first week of July, I came down with COVID, but they advised me I didn't have to take any medications for the COVID. They said the shot should do it. That if I took any other medications, I'd probably be overdoing the COVID medication. So I surfed it out, so to speak, and survived. And so then I got this last shot a couple of weeks ago, so I'm in good shape now with everything up to date. Anyway, that's what's happening here, and I'll send it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU here. Well, Dave, you should have nice natural immunity, and then the booster on top of it, you should really be good. I was thinking, I did some other things, I guess. So here, a short time ago, I put a flagpole holder up on the wall. Joanne has a banner, a Seahawks banner. Well, she has a couple of banners. She has some Christmas banners. So anyway, we went outside and looked around. She decided she wanted it. Our house is kind of U-shaped, and the garage sticks out on the right side here, and then the front of the house sticks out a little bit on the left side, and we face south. So anyway, I stuck it on the side of the garage so that it was pointed east, and then when you went by on the sidewalk or the street, you could see it. Well, that was well and good. It worked out just fine, except I have this camera up on the front porch, and it's pointed at the driveway. And so every time the wind blew that flag, it activated the camera motion detector. So it was taking 1,000 pictures a day. So finally I discovered that, and I pointed it out to Joanne, and so she understood. So I moved it over to the front, by the front door, to the left of the steps when you come down. So now it's behind the camera, so it doesn't do that anymore. So it's solar powered, and it was going to run the battery down. Poor little solar panel couldn't keep the battery charged with the camera going off that many times. And then Sunday, we have some of these kind of wash tubs, I would say, 2 or 3 of them. And we'd gone over to Phyllis and Doug's house Saturday night. Joanne had lugged a bunch of stuff over there in it, food, things, cookies, I don't know what else she'd taken, a pie maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, So it was sitting on the kitchen counter Sunday, so I decided to take it out in the garage and put it on the bottom of the stack. Well, there was some other things in the top container, and it made it a little bit heavy. So I was trying to kind of lift them up with my left hand and slide the bucket in there with my right hand. And oh my goodness, I hurt my arm between the shoulder and my bicep. It actually popped. I actually heard a noise, and it was excruciating pain. And I could hardly use my arm. And it was like that all day Sunday. I could raise my arm up out at the side, and I could bend my elbow, but I couldn't raise my arm. This was my right arm now. I'm raising my left. I couldn't raise my arm up in front. It hurt too bad. But I've had rotator cuff surgery, but it wasn't in the rotator cuff. It was kind of at the top of the bicep, and like I say, the cap on your shoulder. So, gee, at Christmas, I taken a Tylenol, and we had company and everything, and I was thinking, gee, I was going to have to go to the doctor on Monday or something. Well, I got up on Monday morning, and it was a little bit better, I thought. So I really didn't want to go to the doctor. And so I kind of just toughed it out. Well, it's almost all well now. It's still sore, but I can lift my arm up, my right arm. I can just lift it up fine, any place. So other than hurt a little bit, it kind of hurts, like right there, in there. So I don't know what, but I definitely heard a noise. It was the darndest thing. I never have had that happen before, where I hurt myself and I heard a noise. It was like you snap your fingers or something. I thought, oh my golly, I tore the tendon off or something. But apparently it didn't, and it's going to be okay, I think. So, gee, Merry Christmas. I don't need any more things to happen to me, that's for sure. Oh man, I don't know if it's old age and out of shape or what it is, but whatever it is, it's starting to catch up to me, I think. I guess I need to get some dumbbells. Well, I do have one right here by my chair. I just need to use it, I guess, strengthen my arms a little bit. So anyway, I can look outside and I can see a mud puddle. It looks like the rain is hitting it pretty hard now, so we're going to have measurable rain here in a minute. All right. I told you about my arm and the flag, so that's it. Back to net, KD7. Oh, where is James? Good now. I haven't seen him for 2 or 3 weeks. Has anybody heard from him? KD7QKU.
QKU, he's been around. He signed out tonight. He had some other things he was going to do, but he may join us later. So anyway, that's what's been going on there. So let's go on down to Lee N7KC.
Okay, N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Yeah, it's still raining here. It's hard to go right here where I am. Let's see. I can show. Oh yeah, here we go. You guys see that? This is the way my weather station lists its rain. The height of the bars here is the intensity. For example, this bar is between 0.25 and 0.3 inches per hour, and so forth. And then the little dots here connected by the line show you the accumulation up to midnight. Then it starts all over again. So if I come way back here, I'll find some more rain. Well, I would have to change the interval. But this is what we had today. It started a little after 7, and so it's still raining, right? Okay, another. Now, a little project that I've got going here. We have, I think it's 6 of the small, about 8-inch fan. Some of them have a metal blade. Some have a plastic. They're all 3-bladed things, and they all have shaded pull AC induction motors on them, with the sleeve bearing that's the standard bronze. And it turns out that those things run about 9 months before they gum up. And then I have to take them apart and clean the sleeve bearings, put them back together, and then they're good to go. I got some really high quality gun oil this time that I'm trying to see if it gums up as bad. Well, I'm on the next to the last fan, and it is so gummy that you can turn the shaft. Very hard to do that. So I took it apart and to take the little housing off each of the ends. Oh, I'm out of time. I'll tell the rest of the story later. Anyway, back to you, Dave. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles.
KC, and it's time for another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave, KD7CYM. So let's go to Kent to Richard, K7ITX.
All right. Well, so yeah, I figured out what I wanted to mention, and that was Ron, your issue with the wrong address delivery. And I had a weird deal kind of like that, except it got taken care of, like in a manner. About that, it was taken care of in a matter of maybe less than an hour, because it was an Amazon delivery, and they took a picture of the delivery, and Debbie, it was for Debbie, and she saw it on her iPhone, and she called me right away, and she goes, "Go over to the neighbor's house. I think they delivered my package to the wrong house." And I go, "What? I mean, what are you talking about? Just go over there. I'm sure it's next door." I said, "Okay." And so I walk over there, and yeah, sure enough, there's a package leaning against their door. And okay, I kind of walk up quietly, and I look at the package. Yeah, it's our package, wrong address. And I thought, well, geez, I hope they don't see me here. So I grabbed the package and I walked back, and and never heard anything about it. But gee whiz, that I don't know. I don't order personally myself. I don't order a lot of stuff for delivery, and so I get lucky like that sometimes. And Ron, I've had that happen to my arm, where I heard a pop right above the muscle, bicep, and it hurt like heck, and it's bothered me for a long, maybe a half a year to a year. You just kind of remembered it. And especially if you're lifting up anything heavy. So, that's going to be haunting you for a while, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. And I should have mentioned when I was in Tacoma, I stopped by this little hole in the wall and got a couple of their deluxe cheesesteaks. That's the only. I'm pretty fussy about that sort of. Well, I'm just fussy about cheesesteaks. If I can't find where it's just out of this world, I'm not interested. Well, these are out of this world, and the thing is, though, I'm never sure when they're open. They don't always answer the phone, and they're they're out of the way, and it was it was my fourth phone call with about an hour in between calls, and they answered. So I got two of them, two full-size cheesesteaks, everything on them, except no jalapeno. Okay, so that's that on the cheesesteak, and the guys with the Datsun 510 hit the road today for I guess Willows, California, Thunder Hill Racetrack. They tried to twist my arm. They even said I could ride with them. But I don't know. I got out of it this time. Normally I like to go, but I don't know. It's just that track is way out of the way. So I'm not too excited about it. I'd rather go to Sonoma. So with that, K7ITX back to net control.
K7ITX, let's go to Jim in 7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Oh, well, Dave, glad you got your $50 refund. It sounds like you had to work for it. It shouldn't be that difficult. And sometimes things, you know, if they make sense, I don't know. I'm glad that one supervisor helped you out anyway. But like I said, you had to work for it. Sorry about that. And also, Dave, yeah, food. You ate the whole thing. That sounds exactly like what I have always done. Interesting. I go to all these foreign countries, and you go to restaurants, and what they give you looks like half a serving. It looks like an appetizer or something, and I'm like, okay, this is a nice appetizer. Where's the meal? And you know what? That's all you get, and it costs more money than it ought to too. It's just holy cow. Ron, your shoulder. Sorry about that. Sounds like something that happened to my wife a couple years back. She was rather vigorously playing the crash cymbals in a band, and she messed up one arm. And they put her through a bunch of physical therapy, and that didn't fix it. And the doctor had to go in there. They did a little surgery. They cut something in her arm. It seems to me it was attached to the bicep or something. I don't remember. I'd have to do some research to figure out what they did now. But that seemed to solve her problem. So I don't know. Those things can definitely take a while to heal. And like in the case of my wife, it just looked like it wasn't going to heal. But good luck with that. Let's see. Dick, oh man, that's brave. I would be afraid to go to someone else's house and pick up a package on their porch. My neighborhood, we have some people here who are pretty protective of our neighborhood. One day something strange happened here at the house. Someone came over, and our burglar alarm inadvertently got set off. And I'll tell you what, I had one neighbor was over here with a shotgun pretty darn quickly, and I had another neighbor sitting on their porch with a deer rifle with a telescope on it. So it kind of made me reassured a little bit that if someone got into my house, they might not get out with any merchandise anyway. I'm glad you got away with your merchandise, Dick, but I'm just not so sure I'd be brave enough to do it. So, KD7ZYM and 7QO.
Thanks for that. Oh, my neighbors. I had one neighbor that had a burglar alarm set up. He had an old fire engine siren hooked up to a relay and a bunch of 6-volt batteries. Man, that thing went off one afternoon. It sounded like the entire fire department of Seattle was at my front doorstep, even though it was a neighbor's house. But it was a false alarm. But boy, that works. And then once last summer, my doorbell rang, and I looked outside, and it was my neighbor, and said she was picking up a package that was delivered to my address falsely. She said she had the picture on her phone. They had given a picture of where it was delivered, and she said she recognized my front porch and the package, and she came over and claimed it, but she was kind enough to ring the doorbell to let me know what was happening, and she got her package. But oh my, things do happen. And I guess Ron should be thankful he wasn't a soldier in the Second World War for Germany. It would be kind of hard to do the salute. So anyway, wish you well with your arm. Take care. And so let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, my package that was delivered to the wrong place, wherever that was, it had my address and my name on it. You know, it had the right address and name on it, and the people eventually brought it over. I don't know if it was somebody in this neighborhood. I looked at my security camera, wouldn't you know, and I didn't have a picture of them. I can't believe that they came up to my step and put the package down, and I didn't get a picture of them. So I don't know who it was. I just had somebody go by real slow a second ago and stop out in front of my driveway so I can look at my camera on my phone. So I brought my camera up on my phone and I watched them. Maybe they were looking for an address. It was a nice car, but you can never tell anymore. You know, these kids steal nice cars and then they go around, and my pickup sits in the driveway. So far they haven't stole the catalytic converter off it, or they haven't broke into it. I have a club on the steering wheel, and they can see it quite easily. I don't know, maybe I'm hoping that's enough to deter them. Seemed like there was something else I was going to say, but now I forgot what it was. Oh, it was about burglar alarms. So in Bellevue I had a burglar alarm, and oh my golly, you know, Al that lived to the west of me, he worked for the state patrol, and he carried a gun, and he one time I set the burglar alarm off myself. So if I had the burglar alarm off and I opened the patio door and let the cat out in the morning early, it would set the burglar alarm off because I'd forget to shut it off. So we got to the point where we didn't set it very often until only when we left home. But anyway, that one morning early, I set it off, and so I knew Al would probably be wondering what happened. So I went out in the backyard where I could see him. He had his pajamas on, and he had looked like a 45 in his hand, and he was coming over the fence. I said, Al, it was me. I set it off accidentally. He said a few 4-letter words and climbed back over the fence. And then one time when we were gone, the burglar alarm went off, and the kid that lived behind us, he rented the house. His name was Mike, and he had tattoos all over and kind of long hair. Was a real nice guy, and he worked for the city of Bellevue. And so I guess Pete and the other guy across the street, I guess they all came over to my house, and so did Mike. And I don't know if Mike climbed over the back fence, but anyway, the neighbors from in the front come around and found Mike in the backyard. And they thought he was breaking into my house because he looked kind of bad. And so he was saying, man, oh no, I'm the neighbor. I live right here, you know. And I don't know. Pete might have had a gun. I think maybe he did have. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of like that in my neighborhood too. So anyway, it's nice that neighbors look out for each other. So and here, if I'm not home, we have a neighbor. His name is Steve, and so Saturday night, he didn't think we were home, and he calls me and said, "Where are you at?" And I said, "Oh, he's kind of a nosy guy, but I like him. He walks with a cane, and he's younger than I am, and he goes around the block in the morning and in the evening. And he's a retired military guy." He said, "Your house looked all but." Now I tell Joanne I don't like to close the curtains when we leave. It's just a signal to people that, you know, that you're gone. I like to leave everything just the way it is when we're home, and leave the TV on and everything. But Steve noticed that it looked something strange, so he called me. So good neighbor. All right. So back to net and 73s. We may not stick around very long tonight. So bye bye. KD7QKU.
QKU, let's go to Lee in 7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say much except 7-3 to all you guys. Almost dozed off there. I did recognize my call, nap 2, but yeah, I didn't get a nap today. I need a nap every afternoon to function properly at night. So anyway, the bearing. Anyway, it turns out I've done a little looking and a little drawing, and I can get. Gosh, you can get 10 bearings for $10. You know, on Amazon at Bearings Inc. And it looks like it's a 6mm shaft, and it looks like I'm going to be able to do a little machine work and change out these sleeve bearings for some pretty nice sealed ball bearings. It'll be ever so nice. We'll never have to do this again. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for showing up for the net. We got 3 minutes, so somebody else take it. Back to you, Dave. N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles.
KC, let's go to Richard, K7IATX.
Pretty much I'm all talked out. I'll be looking forward to following though the guys down in California with so they've got a brand new engine in it. Well, you know, I mean, is a Datsun engine ever brand new anymore? No, but it looks like it's all clean, you know, all rebuilt and everything. But we're going from 1800 cc's to a 2-liter to fight the cheaters that modified their Alpha engine by adding some space to the intake to increase their horsepower, and we couldn't do that, so we said, what the heck? If they're going to do that, then we'll just up the size of the engine. And so I don't know if they ever got a chance to put it on the dyno, though. I think that maybe that's why they left. Well, let's see, if they left Wednesday, the way they drive, they'll get there, I don't know, tonight maybe, I guess, yeah. What am I saying? No, this is Wednesday. They'll get there Thursday night. So I don't know if there's a dyno that they could use in the Bay Area, but I don't know. But, you know, maybe they already, I saw them putting the engine, they sent me a picture over the weekend, so they might have dropped it in there and then ran it over to their buddy in Woodinville who has a dyno. I hope so. So that was another reason why I didn't want to go. I didn't, you know, sure as heck if I would make all those arrangements to get there and then come to find out that nothing works. And so I'd rather just, I've got timing and scoring right here at my fingertips, so as soon as on Friday morning, I'll be looking for the car on my phone, and hopefully I'll see it, and hopefully it'll be doing great. So, all right, well, there you go. It's 9 o'clock. K7ITX and 73, everybody. Back to net control.
ITX, and it's time to pull the plug on the net. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYN. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our net control. So with that, I'll be signing off at 9 o'clock. This is Dave, KD7CYM, on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Good evening, all.
7KC disconnected.